It's new from the Bare Naked Ladies, You Run Away. 99.7, 99.3 The Point. Your music, your station. It is looking like a pretty nice day. Sunshine and blue skies expected. 40 for the high Durango today, 49 for Farmington. Weather forecast brought to you by Ashley Furniture Home Store located in Farmington. Locally owned and operated, 5200 East Main. And 18 degrees right now in Durango, 26 in Farmington. Joining me in the studio, this is kind of weird.
It is weird.
It's kind of queepy. It's queepy.
A little bit queepy.
It's a little bit queepy. Jared Ewey comes back to American General Media at 99.7. How do you feel right now?
I don't know. It's weird. I'm a little nervous.
Are you nervous?
Yeah. I'm worried that the 25-year-old me is going to wander in here and say something stupid. So,
awesome.
No, this studio,
Deja vu.
it should be, I hope you cleaned it.
No, not since you left.
Or got inoculated.
When were you on the air with us?
You know what? This is I have I left in February of 2000. So and every year I think of the anniversary has been 10 years since I left.
10 years?
Yeah. I worked here for KDGO alone, the AM station, from 92 to 96, and then I went to another place in Farmington, another radio station.
You have to mention that, really? No, I'm kidding.
Well, I won't mention specifically. And then I went to Portland, and I was miserable because I didn't want to leave Durango. And then I came back, and then I was here for 2 years.
That is crazy.
It's weird.
We've known each other for
It
quite a few years.
been a long time. It's weird. And you're still hot.
Hey. If I wasn't, would you say that?
Well, I think it's important because a lot of times you'll hear somebody on the radio, and you imagine them as a hot person. But 99% of the time, there's someone who lives on Mountain Dew and cream-filled pastries and are just not that pretty.
Did you see the Gerard Butler movie, Gamer?
No.
There's a guy that, I mean, it's the movie where the kid's controlling and they're actual people and they put something in their brain and Gerard's
I saw the
actually
previews, yeah.
Well, there's this guy that sits in his chair and he wears no shirt and he's like maybe 380 pounds and those are the people, when you talk to people online and they say they're hot.
Yeah.
That's what you just reminded me of.
I worked with that guy in Farmington, I think.
It is good to see you.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. My experience here working on this station was, I think, the best ever radio experience ever in the history of the world.
I remember one of the Snowdown events where you did the stand-up comedy. You hosted it, I think.
Oh well,
Do you remember
yeah,
that?
maybe. There are some blurry moments just because of, well, I was, I broke my back, so that last like 6 months I was on painkillers and past blue ribbon, and I don't know, it got kind of fuzzy.
You know, there's like a thing that happens with DJs on this station.
Well, well, the Snowdown thing I remember is when I was dressed like a woman and I fell down on the stage,
Oh my
and
gosh.
it exposed everything.
You really weren't wearing anything under the dress?
Well,
Really?
I thought to be accurate as a woman, I would wear a G-string, which is not
I do
recommended.
remember that.
No, I felt like I'd been assaulted by dental floss, and I fell down in
There
high
are pictures
heels.
out there still, you know that, right?
Well, right, and the bartender, everybody screamed. They screamed and shrieked. I didn't know what they were screaming about. I turned around and I was looking at him, and I didn't know if somebody with an axe came in the room or what, but they were screaming like the worst horror ever. So I asked the bartender, I said, what happened? And he said, we were at the VFW just across the street, and he said, well, you've got male anatomy, like saying it in that figurative
shocked.
way, like I
Oh,
was bold,
Right.
that way. And I said, really? And he goes, I know, because I saw him. Yeah, so
Wow.
that was pretty much my parting shot to Durango, and then I left.
You had to leave after that one.
I
You
couldn't
had
top
to.
it, yeah.
8:23 the time, but Jared comes to us in a different form and fashion.
Yeah.
And you are with the U.S. Census Bureau.
That is true.
That is like, how do you go from a great DJ in Durango to the Census Bureau?
10 years ago, if I would have known I'd be a bureaucrat, I would have beaten myself up just to stop it.
Yeah.
But it's a good gig. It's good. It's advocacy. I get to go around. I get to remind people. You count, fill out the stinking form, send it in. It's safe. It's easy. And if you don't, then you're just shorting your community, the schools, the roads, all that stuff. Because right now, for example, La Plata County has a 2,000 budget with a 2010 population.
Right.
So they need that update so they get the right amount of federal and state funds here.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good
And
point.
how did I get here? Can I just take 20 seconds to tell you?
Yeah, do
Okay.
Because I'm curious.
Okay, because I don't want, just tell me no, because I could go.
I'll just turn the mic off.
Okay, I'm used to that. No, but left here, went to Colorado Springs, which was painful because I kind of brought my whole Durango attitude to Colorado Springs. And Colorado Springs is a whole different place.
Don't bring Durango attitude to Colorado.
Well, you know, Durango's kind of a big group hug in the mountains. And I left that, just loving life and myself, smelling of microbrew and just feeling good. And I went to Colorado Springs with that same attitude, and the first 6 months was really tough. Because I call Colorado Springs, it's a military town that wants big government out of its life. I mean, it's a really strange, twisted, conservative utopia for those who want to be there. And eventually, when I knew it turned around, is when Focus on the Family sent a letter to the radio station saying they wanted me gone. And that's when I knew I was like, I've made a difference. Like, wow, I'm staying. And
you're listening.
Yeah, and then I got hired in Denver, and then I'm going to get kind of sappy here. Then I took care of my mom, my wife and I did, until she died. And I had to leave radio for that. And after that, I just couldn't, everything seemed really trivial. You know, handing out free pizza in a parking lot somewhere, I was like, you know, I just got high maintenance as far as soul satisfying went. So I just didn't get back in. And then this job came along, and it just seemed big. It seemed really big, you know.
Isn't it interesting, the road and the path that, you know, you end up on, isn't it?
It is weird. I feel like Forrest Gump sometimes, just stumbling into things.
Like
Yeah.
Go ahead, finish it up.
A six-pack.
Of microbrew.
Right,
Yeah. So you're in town for 3 days, you said?
Yeah, so I'm here tonight, and I mentioned, in Durango you live by the nights, because those are the nights that people can go out and drink.
Right.
Like, I've realized that Durango's completely screwed me up. Women are no longer hot in hip huggers and high heels. You give me a chica in a North Face, I'm all over it. I love it.
Love Durango.
Yeah, and like women here, they're not high maintenance for diamonds and cars and stuff. No, but what you better bring to the table is emotional intelligence and a know-how on how to butter a muffin with a snowboard. And I don't even know what that means, but I heard a snowboard announcer say it in the Olympics.
Nice.
Yeah.
Butter a muffin with a snowboard.
Yeah.
Look at a lot.
Yeah.
I snowboarded both days this weekend.
And I may have just touched you because I said that. I don't know.
You did.
No, good.
Yeah, and in literal speaking, not.
Yeah, right. There was no.
He's on the other side of the microphone.
But yeah, just being in the studio, it gets me a little bit amorous again.
It's awesome. I love it. Well, and you know what? We want to remind you, and Jared's here to remind you that you are, and I did get mine, and you know, my twisted little mind, I told you off the air, was, you know, when I got my little thing in the mail, I said to myself, well, wonder if I answer that there's 36 people in my household, you know, how would that affect our economy here in Durango?
Well, they'd hand it to me, I'd be like, oh, Dina, yeah, there's probably that many people in the house.
That's right.
A lot of them haven't woken up because of the alcoholic stupor, but they'll...
Here's a question for you, though.
Yeah.
With my situation, my kids are with me 50% of the time, so technically they live in both households. How do I answer that question?
Well, it's where they are April 1st, because April 1st is Census Day, and that's the great equalizer.
Okay.
Now, if they are one place more than half the time, then they would be counted there. But if it's equal time, April 1st is where you live and sleep on April 1st. That's a simple solution right there, folks.
That's awesome.
You could be a temporary worker, you could be a college student, you could be some kind of traveling tent preaching pastor. But if you live and sleep here on April 1st and you have no other residence, this is where you live.
That's how you do it.
That's right.
Awesome.
But I got to tell you, I want to get back to the radio.
Do you?
Just being in here, I just want to steal this microphone and go
Isn't it great?
spoon it. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
awesome.
if it's not me in the next 20 minutes and it's just Jared, you know what he did with me, so
Yes,
call
she's been
911.
gagged with a point bumper sticker.
call 911. So, it is great to see you. You
Yeah.
bring back a lot of great memories.